Hey gamers, it's G from The Corner, and today, I have the most shocking revelation, the craziest, most hype revelation I think I've ever had here on The Corner in all, 16, 17 months of me doing this. I think that we are on the cusp, imminently, mere weeks, if not days by the time you're watching this, away from the reveal of Nintendo's next generation console. I know you might be thinking I'm crazy. You might be thinking we've been backpedaling recently. People have been saying it's coming out later than they expect as time goes on. This is crazy because I just did a video saying I expected the reveal to be in November, but after what has transpired in the last week, I feel so confident, just so infinitely confident that this is the time. The time is now. The time is almost here. We are about to bear witness to the successor to the Nintendo Switch. So let's give a little bit of backstory here. As you might have remembered if you saw my previous video that went up just before actually, only a few days before the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase Indie World Combo presentation got announced, leakers have been suggesting that Nintendo's announcement event lineup has been getting shifted around as of late. They've been kind of making room for something in September. I might have gotten some of the details a little wrong in the video. It wasn't necessarily stated that the events were being dragged up because of a Switch 2 announcement or that they were being moved up at all, just that there was changes happening and there was going to be a Direct in August and an Indie World in September. Well, what did we get instead? We got an Indie World and Nintendo Direct on the same day in August. Very, very odd. Very odd. I would have expected an Indie World in August and a general or partner showcase Direct in September, if anything. And I know Nintendo. They love to space out their announcements. They will wait as long as possible if they have to reveal something. Take the summer of 2022 as an example. Instead of having a general Nintendo Direct, they decided, hey, you know what? Let's save some of our early 2023 reveals for a September Direct and instead host a partner showcase at the end of the month and have whatever first-party announcements we needed to make come out just every week in July. Here's a Kirby game one week, a Bayonetta trailer another week, a Mario Strikers update one week, a Mario Kart update another week. They had a plan there, and it made sense, instead of doing a mid-general, they had a pretty damn good partner showcase and plenty of announcements to string us along for most of July and August. It was very smart of them. And, I would expect something like that to happen again, because if we look at the current schedule, Nintendo has a game coming out in, at the time of recording, 4 weeks. And something I should also mention is that Nintendo often does September Directs around the time of Tokyo Game Show. They never attend the event themselves, or at least haven't in a long time. But third parties will want trailers at a presentation that a lot of people are watching beforehand so they can show their stuff off at Tokyo Game Show. So, usually September Directs end up being mostly promotion for the holidays with maybe a handful or one or two titles for the following year announced. But it's a lot of third-party stuff. You'll usually see more third-party stuff in a September General than any other Direct because of that. Tokyo Game Show isn't happening until the end of September. They had plenty of time to do this Direct. They could have easily done the Indie World this week and the Partner Showcase 2 weeks from now on, let's say, September 12th. I know, my birthday, haha. But they didn't for some reason. I kind of think that was the original plan. There were a lot of shadow drops here, but a lot of non-shadow drops. I think the biggest thing that sticks out to me, obviously because this is the segment I was the most tuned into during the actual showcase, was the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 reveal, where they announced the release date for Marvel vs. Capcom as September 12th, but the physical date wouldn't be until much later, November 22nd. Now, clearly to me, that sounds like a little, hey, digital version's coming out very soon, go grab it, but I feel like that's something you usually do if it's a shadow drop, I feel like companies will usually be like, hey, here's the digital version out right now, and then if you want the physical version, you have to wait, but instead you're already making people wait 2 weeks. That's weird, unless Capcom always planned to do this, and Nintendo said, we're doing the partner showcase sooner, so we're going to have to reveal that release date now, and then instead of it being a shadow drop, it's a 2-week notice, essentially. There are already 5-6 games, I think, dropped immediately after that Direct on the Switch, and yeah, I'll be real, I think I would have been down to have MVC2 right now, but you know what, honestly, no harm waiting until the 12th. It's perfectly fine by me, but why not have the partner showcase that day and give the indie world its own week to shine in the spotlight? And in fact, not even. MEO came out this week. They did it this week, the week of a game release. Nintendo has other things to be concerned with, first-party wise, and they were like, let's do a big third-party showcase. Partner showcases have happened on the weeks of first-party game releases before. Last one I could think of was, I think there was one the week Pikmin 3 Deluxe came out. They had Part-Time UFO and No More Heroes 1 and 2 Shadow dropped on the Switch. That was pretty cool. But, only other time a Direct has coincided with the release of a game in the Switch era. And again, it was a partner showcase coinciding with the first party release. So I get it to that extent. But that's another thing I should mention here. There was no first party content during the partner showcase. And I know what you're thinking, duh, okay, it's a partner showcase. It's for third party developers to show off their games. But here's the thing. The Partner Showcase label is kind of just the new Direct Mini label. They haven't done a Direct Mini since COVID in 2020. So I kind of feel like they're not going to really do specific minis, because here's the thing. There were 2 mini directs of the Switch era, and they were way too good to be called mini directs. The first one was literally just, imagine a Nintendo Direct, but it's only the best 11 minutes of it. Like, it was ridiculous. There was announcement after announcement. There were no dud headlines. Almost all of it was first party content, and everything that wasn't was like really exciting third party and indie stuff. They announced like 3 whole games. I mean, 2 were Wii U ports, but like there was Mario Tennis, Donkey Kong. There was a lot of announcements at that Direct. And then they did the mini in March of 2020, which barely was a mini. It was 28 minutes long. That's longer than some general Directs of the Wii U era were. And even then, they announced Clubhouse games. They showed trailers for Pokemon stuff. They had updates for Animal Crossing and Ring Fit. Like, it was a meaty mini Direct. I think that was just more of, let's hit the panic button and drop whatever we feel comfortable with right now because the world's in a weird spot. Then the partner showcases started, and these are, I think, where they really have to set expectations low, because again, Nintendo has so many first party titles. It's so easy to just announce 1 or 2 or drop a trailer for 1 or 2. This is a good kind of expectation setter. Here's a third party presentation. You're not expected to see any first party stuff. But the thing is, they've kind of consistently found ways to put first party stuff into partner showcases. Let's start from the top. Back in 2020, when they first started doing these, the first few didn't have any, but after Nintendo finally started announcing first party stuff again in September of that year, they made sure to have Part-Time UFO, a game developed by HAL Laboratory, which is I think they're a Nintendo-owned team, right? They're owned by Nintendo, show up in the Direct. Okay, but like that's not like a solely, that was an IP that started out on mobile phones, that's a whatever thing. Then they showed off Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. That is a Zelda game. Oh, it's developed by a third party, so it technically counts. But yeah, there you go. Like, that's already pretty much breaking whatever expectations you had. Okay, next partner showcase, June 2022. Here's a 5-minute segment on Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Are you kidding me? Nintendo doesn't even publish this one outside of Japan, but like, still, again, it's Mario. It's literally Mario. That is the Nintendo thing, and it's in the don't expect first party content Direct. Like, come on, guys. Then we get to the top of this year, the February 2024 Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. This one, whole new style, whole new theming, and we end on an Endless Ocean announcement. Like, bro, that is a Nintendo IP. That is just a new game in a Nintendo series. They haven't made Endless Oceans on other consoles. This is a Nintendo franchise. It's a first-party published game. It's developed by a company that I guess isn't owned by Nintendo, so it counts. But like, bro, they really just wanted to announce Endless Ocean and didn't want to stick it in a Twitter drop, so they were like, well, we have enough for a Direct for third parties, so whatever. Again, that's how it works. So going into this, I was honestly kind of expecting to see a Nintendo IP. My biggest predictions were Fire Emblem 4 remake, which had been rumored for a long time, or something Kirby, which, I expected that because I expected both of those because Intelligent Systems is not owned by Nintendo, and HAL Laboratory literally showed up in a partner showcase. Granted, they could have announced a Kirby, well, whatever. I already explained their whole idea with trying to space out the news. Mario Rabbids is probably only at that partner showcase because Ubisoft did their own presentation the following week. Wow, wasn't that a tangent? Okay, look, I needed to explain all that because there was no first-party stuff, like nothing even remotely related to a first-party IP. I'm going to be honest, I haven't checked if Fitness Boxing 3 is being published by Nintendo over here. If it does, that makes my whole point about Nintendo not having anything after early November being weird, kind of null and void if they have a game coming out in December. But point still stands. There was nothing for February. There was nothing for March. We didn't see any Pokemon Legends ZA. It was a very gung-ho kind of thing. I know there were some 2025 games there, but when they said we're focused on second half of 2024, I think they kind of meant it. It really felt like they were talking about stuff that was coming relatively soon. Again, there was like stuff coming out outside of that time frame, but it was more so just things that like, okay, whatever, this is unrelated to like Nintendo exclusivity or anything. Like, oh, they announced another Capcom fighting collection here. That's really, really cool. Comes out next year. Obviously it comes out next year. It'll come out on whatever systems are around next year, whether that's the Switch or the Switch 2 and, the PlayStation. Not Xbox. I guess they just don't care about getting MT framework working. Oh well. So to recap, Nintendo hosted a combo presentation. They got a lot of information out of the way, but none of it was big first-party stuff. It was all third-party and indie stuff that they could have easily made. It was literally 2 separate presentations that were just crammed together. They were literally stitched together. In the Japanese YouTube channel, they're just uploaded as 2 separate presentations. The little intro bit with the announcer is just like so half-baked and like, hey guys, it's me. Let's start with the indie world. And then plays the indie world. And then the indie world guys are like, all right, that's cool. Now let's watch the partner showcase. Like, it's so weird how they just compressed all of this together. It's almost like they're making space for something because they have nothing going on for the next 4 weeks. The only thing you could really make an argument for is they have the final Splatoon Grand Festival Fest event, like whatever. That's just a thing that's happening. That's completely unrelated to if they want to make news drops and announcements. That's not a weekend anyway. That's like not even a thing that would happen during the week. Like they have literally all this free and empty space right here, right now. If they are announcing this console before the end of the year, which I suspect since apparently it's going into manufacturing soon, now's the time. Now just straight up is the time to do it. I don't know what form that announcement will take. I don't know if there's going to be a general mini direct or something about first party games coming to the Switch and Switch 2. Maybe it'll just be a 5-minute trailer. Maybe it'll be a very brief, here's what the thing looks like. Maybe we even get a reveal of whatever its launch games are going to be, because I feel like you kind of have to. If there's a big 3D Mario or something of that scale coming to the system at launch, I think it needs to be announced at least 6 to 7 months before. It probably needs to be announced alongside the console. The Switch had Breath of the Wild, but that was announced ages before, We're in a really weird situation. Even the Wii U, a console that Nintendo just could not wait to just send off to die, literally stop manufacturing before the Switch even came out. They took their sweet time. It took until the end of October. That's why I was predicting something like November for the system, and that if it was coming out in May or later, they would just wait until the new year. But I don't know, maybe they feel like they got to get that information out there sooner, They have a lot of great games coming out this holiday, but there's just this empty space, and it's just why? Why did they compress these 2 presentations together? Why do they have nothing to talk about for the early portions of next year? Here's the thing. Nintendo has 3 unknowns for next year: Pokemon, Metroid, and the Switch 2. And I'm sorry, but one of those has to come out in the first half of the year. And if that's the case, we need to see it before this year is over. And I don't know when that would be for any of these things. Pokemon, I would have expected a gameplay reveal at a Pokemon Presents in August. Metroid, there's no direct happening, so I don't know where they're going to do that unless they're planning on doing a Metroid direct, which I have humored in the past. But again, something like that only really makes sense if the game is coming out in the first half of the year. And then there's the Switch 2. Things have got to happen. And if the Switch 2 is getting revealed next year, then that means it's probably not coming out until May at the earliest, if I had to guess. And that means Nintendo has nothing for February, March, or April, which is very, very odd if they want to have a smooth hardware transition. Again, it's just really weird. It's really weird. And part of me doesn't want to get my hopes up. I really don't, because this is what always happens. There's always that expectation that, hey, this company is going to do this thing soon, especially when it's with Nintendo. It's you never know what they're going to do. They're the kings of left field, hardy har. All right, I'm sure if there isn't a big Switch 2 reveal in the next week, 2 weeks, depending on when you're watching this, that they have some damn good reason for sticking those presentations together instead of making them separate. But it just seems so weird to me. It's so weird to me. Why would you do it? You don't have any games lined up. What is happening here? I'm genuinely just so I'm getting kind of nervous. This is weird. We're in a weird spot right now, and I feel like something's about to happen, but it's is it Is it really? Or am I just reading way too into it and the next few weeks are going to go by with little to no news from Nintendo? I don't know. It's supposedly starting manufacturing in October, so they got to talk about it at some point. And again, after Zelda, I know what you're probably thinking, well, why does it have to be right now? It could just be after Zelda, before Mario Party, after Mario Party, before Mario and Luigi, or again, still after Mario and Luigi. And that's very true, but again, manufacturing starts in October, so they want to get it out soon. So let's say Zelda comes out at the end of September, right? So then Mario Party is out 3 weeks later. So are you going to do it in that 3 weeks? Are you going to do it in the week after Zelda or the week before Mario Party? Those are your two options right there. So I don't really know. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know what they're thinking. I'm sure Furukawa's got some galaxy brain 4D chess move going on right now in his mind. You know, he got us all distracted by this Indie World Partner Showcase combo, which, if I got to give my thoughts real quick on, I thought was pretty lacking. I mean, like the Indie Worlds I go in expecting just to see cool shit I've never heard of, and that happened. There were some cool games that I really want to check out. Morsels looked great. The dating sim game looked very funny. And, you know, I already picked up Pizza Tower and I've started playing it and it's very, very cool, right? But the partner showcase, it's just you expect to see a few things because, okay, what games do I like that could show up here? Okay, did these games show up here? No, they didn't. The best thing was the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. Everything else is kind of just whatever, a weird port or weird announcement that isn't my cup of tea, but I'm sure is somebody else's, you know? Again, it's a weird situation we're in right now, but all will definitely be revealed soon. Heck, by the time this video goes up, maybe there's been some wild smoke. Maybe everybody already knows that the Switch 2 is getting revealed on September 10th, 2024, you know? It could be any day, really. It could be the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, the 9th, the 17th. Could be the 17th. I don't know. They could do the week before. It's a weird situation we're in. But you know what? I think I've run my mouth long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I just feel like something's coming. Storms are approaching, all right? The Switch 2 will be here before we know it, and I'm bracing for impact right now, if so to speak. But yeah, that'll do it for today. Keep yourselves cornered for more. Like, subscribe, comment about why I'm wrong, why I'm right, whatever you want to say down there. And I will see you guys very soon for the next one. Bye-bye.